everyone! Today I'm going to be teaching you how to crochet this mushroom fidget pop. If you guys don't know how to crochet, I will be teaching you to do all these stitches throughout the entire video. So the materials you're going to be needing for this popping mushroom is any color for the top of the mushroom, and I'm going to be using green. You are also going to be needing cream or white for the base and the spots of the mushroom. You will also be needing a 4.5mm hook or a size 7 hook. You will also need a sewing needle, a pair of scissors. You can use black yarn if you want, but I'm going to be using embroidery thread and a tiny bit of stuffing. And optionally, if you do like using them, you can use a stitch marker. Let's get started. We're going to start with our green yarn, and the starting point of our mushroom is at the top. So we're going to start by making a magic ring, and by making a magic ring, we're going to grab the yarn in between our pointer finger and our thumb, and we're going to wrap it towards our middle fingernail like that, and wrap it under, and then around, going to the other side, forming a X on our fingers, and then you can grab the tail end with your 2 fingers right there, if you want to. And then we're going to take our hook, and we're going to stick it under both strands of the X, just like that. And this yarn that we're grabbing right here is going to be attached to this X part right here. And we're just going to use our hook and pull it through the X. And then we're going to go over the entire thing, grab the yarn again, and pull it through the loop on our hook. And after that, you can take it off your fingers. And this magic ring is very easy to do after you've gotten the hang of it. And basically, what it's supposed to do is once you're done crocheting into the magic ring, you're able to pull on this tail end, and it's going to close the hole for you. If you don't want to do this, you can also do the chain 2 method if you know how. And then we're going to do 6 single crochet into this magic ring. So basically, single crochet is we're going to insert our hook into the middle of the magic ring, so just in the hole right there, just the big hole. We're going to grab the yarn, and we're going to pull it through, just like that. And we should have 2 loops on our hook now. And then we're going to grab the yarn again, and we're going to pull it through both loops on our hook, just like that. And that is 1 single crochet. And then we're going to be doing 5 more total for a total of 6. So what we're going to do again is insert our hook into the middle of the magic ring, grab the yarn and pull through, grab the yarn, and then pull through both loops on our hook. And then we're going to do it again. So insert our hook into the magic ring, grab the yarn, pull through, grab the yarn, and pull through both loops on our hook. And each stitch should be marked with this little V right here. So far I have done 3 stitches, and I want to do 6 total. So insert your hook into the middle, grab the yarn, pull through, grab the yarn, and pull through both loops on our hook. And then we're going to do it 2 more times. So now we are going to be doing our next round, which is round 2. And if you want to, you can put your stitch marker right here where you did your last single crochet. And basically, we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch. So if you want to, you can actually look at your V's along the row, starting at your hook. You can count backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And right here, the 6th stitch is actually the very first one you crocheted. And then we're going to stick our hook into both sides of the V, and this one's going to be the hardest to stick our hook into because it's usually the tightest one. So you just kind of can use your fingers if you want to. So once you're done inserting your hook into the V, it should look like you have 3 strands on your hook. And then we're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull through just the top 2 strands, which will be the V on your hook. But make sure you still have that 1 strand at the back, like that. And then we're going to yarn over again, which means grab the yarn and pull through both loops on our hook. So that way we end up with 1 single crochet. And then we're going to be doing another single crochet into that same space for an increase. An increase is 2 single crochets into the same stitch. So we're going to insert our hook back into the same hole we just went into. And this part's a little tricky. And we're going to grab our yarn and pull through. And we're going to grab the yarn again and pull through both loops on our hook. Just like that. And now you've made 1 increase. And now we're going to be doing 6 increases total for a total of 12 stitches. And that's why it's useful to have the stitch marker right here. And then we're going to now insert our hook into the next stitch, which is right here. So insert your hook right here. And then we're going to grab the yarn and pull through. Grab the yarn and pull through again. And then we're going to insert hook back into the same spot. Grab the yarn, pull through. Grab the yarn and pull through both loops on our hook. And now we have done 2 increases. And now we just have to do 4 more. And then once we're done, we can count our stitches to make sure we have 12. So we can count our stitches by counting each little V that's going along our circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So now that we have 12 stitches in our circle, we are going to insert our hook into the next V right here. And now we're going to be doing a pattern of 1 single crochet into the first stitch and then an increase into the next stitch. So a single crochet is where you're going to do just 1 regular single crochet, which is where you're going to insert your hook into the V right here, yarn over, and pull through that stitch right there, and you should have 2 loops on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through both of the loops on your hook. And then now in the next stitch, we're going to be doing an increase. So we're going to insert a hook into the next stitch. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through the V. And then we're going to yarn over and then pull through both loops on our hook. Then we can insert our hook back into the same spot that we just single crocheted into. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and then pull through both loops on your hook. And then now we're going to repeat that process 6 times total. So we've already done it once, so we need to do it 5 more times. And we should have a total of 18 stitches at the end. So in the next stitch, we're going to do a single crochet. So insert your hook into the V right here, yarn over, and pull through that stitch, making sure that you still have that other loop right here. Then yarn over and then pull through both loops on your hook. And then in the next stitch, we're going to insert our hook in there, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and then pull through both loops on your hook. And then insert your hook back into that same spot. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. And then now we have done the pattern twice, and we have to do that 4 more times total. Now for round 4, we are going to be doing single crochet 18, which means we're just going to be doing 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around the circle. So before we start this round, we can always count our stitches to make sure we have 18. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And then we're going to be doing our single crochet 18 all the way around the circle. So single crochet into the first stitch, and then into the next stitch, and then just continue all the way along until you've done 18. So once you're done with all your 18 stitches, your piece should be curving inward slightly. You can just pop that back out, just like that, and it should be curving out the other way. And then now for row 5, we are going to be doing single crochet 2 increase, which means we're going to be doing a single crochet into 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to be doing an increase into the 3rd stitch. So I'm going to walk you through the first bit. So we're going to single crochet into the first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet into the next stitch right here. And then we are going to be doing an increase into the 3rd stitch, and an increase is 2 single crochet into the same stitch. And then we're going to repeat that 5 more times all the way around the circle, and you should have 24 stitches at the end. So we've already done it once, and then we just need to do it 5 more times. Okay, so now that I have finished round 5, we can count our stitches to make sure we have 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And now for rows 6 through 7, we are going to be doing single crochet 24, which means we're just going to be doing 1 single crochet into each stitch going all the way around, and we're going to go around 2 times. So we're going to do a single crochet into each stitch, and we need to go around the piece twice. Okay, so once you've reached the end of row 7, we can count our stitches to make sure we still have 24. And then we can pull our hook away from our piece, so that way the yarn is left in a big loop. Do not cut our yarn, because now we're going to move on to the next step. And we're going to move on to our next step, which is grabbing our cream yarn. And we are going to be sewing our spots onto our mushroom. So we're going to grab our needle and pull our yarn through the needle right here. And then we're going to take our mushroom top, and we can stick our needle anywhere in the dome. And if you notice, there are actually lines going this way, if you see that, and then you can just stick them in between each line, so just like that. And you can go around like 3 times. That's what I usually do. So, and if you go around 3 times, that will make a pretty circular dot. If you put one on, you put one in the middle and then one on each side, if you see what I'm doing right here, just like that. And then you just sew them all over. You can add as many as you want, or you can add only like 2 or something. Just kind of put them just kind of randomly everywhere, so that way it kind of looks more natural. So as you can see right here, I just ran out of yarn, so I'm going to grab my scissors and then cut the yarn maybe like around here, and then I can use the other end to keep on sewing. And then once you're done, we can flip the thing inside out. This is how I like to do it. We flip it inside out. And then we take the 2 ends and then we just tie it in a knot, and just gently, because we do not want to scrunch up the entire thing. And then we can flip it back around and it'll just look like this. Okay, so now we need to change the green yarn to cream yarn, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. So first of all, we're going to take our hook and we're going to put it back in the loop and tighten the loop, so that way as if we were going to continue crocheting. But then we're going to pull our hook back out and carefully remove this one loop right here, so that way we have the 2 loops that we had before. So if you want me to show you that again, so basically you're just taking this loop that we had on our hook, and we're just going to pull it out carefully, just that one loop, so that way we have the other 2 loops, and we can put them back on our hook, just like that. And as you can just see, we just undid half our stitch. And we're going to redo the stitch in cream. And we're just going to put this cream yarn on our hook and pull it through our 2 loops. And then you can just tighten the green and the cream. And then we can tie the green and the cream yarn together and cut the green yarn. Just like that. And then now we can take away our green yarn, and then we have our cream yarn attached, and we can continue crocheting. So this next part is a little tricky because we're going to be learning our decrease, but this is not a normal decrease because we have to do it in the back loops. So a back loop is the loop. So we have our crochet piece right here, and then each stitch is a V, right? And there's 2 sides of the V because there has to be, otherwise it wouldn't be a V, literally. So there's 2 strings, one facing you when you're crocheting and one that's facing away from you. So the one that's facing away from you, or facing into the middle of our crochet piece, is called a back loop because it is in the back. And what we're going to be doing for this one is we're going to be inserting our hook into just the back loop. So we're going to be ignoring the front loop. And then we're going to insert our hook into the back loop, and we're going to yarn over and pull through that one back loop, and then yarn over and then pull through both loops on a hook, just as if we were doing a single crochet, except we didn't do it in both loops of the V, we're just doing it in the back loop. And then we're going to do it again into the next loop, into the next back loop, and then into the next back loop, the next 2 back loops actually. This is where it gets a little difficult. We are going to be doing a decrease. And a decrease is where we're going to be taking 2 stitches and turning it into 1 stitch. And this particular decrease is called an invisible decrease. Usually an invisible decrease, you're going to be doing it in the front loops, but this one we're going to be doing it in the back loops. So we're going to put our hook into the first back loop. Then, without grabbing the cream yarn or anything, we're going to grab the back loop of the next stitch too. So we have 2 loops on our hook. And then we're going to yarn over with the cream yarn and pull through both of the back loops. And then we're going to yarn over with the cream yarn again and pull through both of the cream loops on our hook. So now, as you guys can see, we have turned our 2 stitches into 1 stitch. And this is called a decrease. And then we're going to repeat that 6 times total. So we've already done it once, so we need to do it 5 more times. And we're going to go all the way around for a total of 18 stitches. So we're just taking away 6 stitches. So I'm going to walk you through it again. So we're going to single crochet into the back loop of the next stitch. And then we're going to do another single crochet into the back loop of the stitch after that. And then into the next 2 stitches, we're going to grab the back loops of both of these stitches. So grab the back loop of the first stitch, and then go back and grab the back loop of the next stitch. And we're going to grab the cream yarn and pull through both of the back loops. And then we're going to grab our yarn again and then pull through both loops on our hook. Just like that. So once we get back to our beginning, we should see that we have made a full circle, and this is the easiest row to tell that we have made a full circle, because you can easily see that we just went all the way around and came back, and the cream should not be touching each other, but we still have done all the green stitches. And as you can see, when we're doing our back loop, we still have the front loop, and that leaves a nice ridging around the entire piece. And what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be single crocheting into each cream stitch. And we are not doing back loop anymore, we're just going to be doing our regular stitches. And we're going to do a single crochet into each stitch all the way around, and we should have 18 stitches now. So if you want to quickly stop and count your stitches, you can. And then now we are going to be just going around. So single crochet by putting your hook into both loops of the V, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and then pull through both loops on your hook. And then you're just going to repeat that and make sure you just go all the way around. So now that I have made it all the way around, we are going to be moving on to our 10th row. And for our 10th row, we are going to be doing single crochet 1 decrease. So this is like the single crochet 1 increase that we did in the beginning, but instead of our increase, we're going to be doing a decrease. So first, we're going to insert our hook into the first stitch, and we're going to be doing a regular single crochet. And then into the second and third stitches, we're going to be doing our decrease. So the decrease that we did last time was in the back loops, but this time it's going to be in the front loops, and it's going to be a little easier. So we're going to grab the front loops of the next 2 stitches, just like that. So we have 2 loops on our hook right there, and then plus the third one in the back. And then we're going to grab our yarn and pull through the front loops only. So you have 2 loops on your hook. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through both loops on our hook. And as you can see, this is the decrease, and like we did last time, but this time we're using the front loop. So we just turned 2 stitches into 1 stitch. And then we're going to repeat that 5 times or more, and we're going to go all the way around for a total of 12 stitches. And I'm going to walk you through it one more time. So we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. Make sure you do both loops. Okay, and then we're going to be doing our decrease, which means we're going to grab the front loops of the next 2 stitches. The front loops are the ones facing towards you, and then we're going to yarn over, which means we're going to grab the yarn and pull through both of the front loops that we just put our hook into. And then now we should have 2 loops on our hook, and we're going to yarn over and then pull through both loops on our hook. And then we're going to repeat that 4 more times. Okay, so once I finish my round 10, I'm just going to say that do not stuff this piece. So the only part that we're stuffing in the mushroom is actually the head. So just make sure you don't stuff the top of the mushroom, because otherwise it will not pop. So for round 11, we are going to be doing single crochet 12, because now we have 12 stitches since we've done a bunch of our decreases, and which means we're just going to be doing a single crochet into each stitch going all the way around the circle. And make sure you insert your hook into both loops on our V stitch, because If we do not, it's going to be either a front loop stitch or a back loop stitch. So just make sure we insert your hook into both loops. Now your piece should look like this, and we have 12 stitches. And now we are going to be moving on to round 12, which is going to be doing 6 decreases. So we're not going to be doing any single crochets into this round. It's just going to be all decreases. And we're going to be doing 6 of them. So we're going to grab the front loops of the next 2 stitches, yarn over, and pull through both front loops of our 2 stitches. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through both loops on our hook. And once we're done with this round, we should have a total of 6 stitches because we're just literally cutting our stitches in half. So I'll show you guys one more time. So for our invisible decrease, we're going to be inserting our hook into both of the front loops of the next 2 stitches. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through both of the front loops. And then we're going to yarn over and then pull through both loops on our hook. And we're just going to repeat that 4 more times. Okay, so now that I've done with all 6 of my decreases, we can count our stitches to make sure we have 6. And then we're going to be working our next round into the front loops only. So the front loops are the loop which is facing you. So in our V, we have loops, right? One is facing into the center of our crochet and one is facing towards you. And we're going to do our work into the front loops, which are the ones facing towards you. And we're going to be doing an increase into each of the front loops. So as you remember, an increase is 2 single crochet into the same stitch. So in this case, we're going to be doing our 2 single crochet into the front loop. So insert your hook into the first front loop of the first stitch, and we're going to yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through both loops on our hook. And we're going to insert our hook back into the same spot that we just did our single crochet into. And we're going to do that again. Just like that. And now we've done one of the increases, and we need to do 5 more, which is 6 total, for a total of 12 stitches. So we're basically just increasing back to 12 after we just decreased down to 6. So in the next stitch, we're going to grab the front loop, and we're going to grab the yarn and pull through, grab the yarn and pull through, and then we're going to insert hook back into the front loop, grab the yarn and pull through, grab the yarn and pull through both loops on our hook. And we're going to repeat that 4 more times. Okay, so for this round, whenever I'm doing it, I'm always accidentally squishing my mushroom. So what we can do is we can just push our piece right here down into our green part. Just kind of like push it in and kind of round out the mushroom, and you can pull it back out. And you can kind of see how it pops already here because this is basically all that there is to it. And this is a very fun fidget toy. And now we can count our stitches to make sure we have 12. If you have more than 12, you might want to take out some of your stitches because you probably did too many increases. And if you have less than 12, you probably didn't do enough increases, and you're probably going to want to do more to get back up to 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we still have our 12 stitches. So now for the next 3 rows, we're going to be going around our circle, and we're just going to be doing 1 single crochet into each stitch. So these rounds are going to be very easy for you guys. So each round should have 12 stitches in it, and total you should be doing 36 stitches because you have to go around 3 times. So make sure you insert your hook into both sides of our stitch because we are not doing front loop or back loop in any of these 3 rounds. So now we're going to be starting on the face. So we're going to grab our black embroidery thread and our needle. And if you have black yarn instead of the embroidery thread, that will work too. So a lot of people, I feel like, struggle with the embroidery part of amigurumi because it's actually, in my opinion, the face is the hardest part. So I'm going to be trying to keep this face as simple as possible. So first we're going to start by finding this part right here where the green is. See how it's uneven here, and it's like more like a kind of like a step kind of going upwards right here, where most of the time it's just straight here. And this part we want in the very back, so we want the face to go on the other side. So I like to put my fingers just like that on the opposite and just turn the whole thing around, just like that. So our face wants to go right here. And we're going to put our face, so if you see that there's there's a row here, and then there's another row here, and another row here, and you can kind of see them just going up, and it's kind of like in a spiral, a really slow spiral just going up, and that's because that's how we crocheted it, and that's basically how we're going to figure out where to put our face. So this is the bottom row where we crocheted the last one, and we're going to put our face one up, so just right here. And I'm going to do the disgusted face because I think that one is just so cute. And I'm going to show you guys how to do it. You guys can do any other face that you want, but I'm just going to be showing you how to do this particular one. So if you see right here, there are a lot of holes, if you can tell. I like to find 3 holes, just like right here, here, and here, that are kind of like in a triangle. And I'm going to pull my yarn or embroidery thread through here. And you guys can just watch for this one so you guys can kind of understand what I'm trying to say, because this is a little bit hard to explain. And we can put our needle through right here, and it's going to go horizontally, just like that. And then I found this other hole right here, just like that. And then we can put it back through the same hole right there, just like that. And you can kind of see how that face is like that. And if you're using embroidery thread, I like to go over it one more time, just to kind of give it a thicker view, so that way you can kind of see it better. Because if you do one, it might not last as long. Just like that. So that's one. And then I like to do it over on this side too. You can give it like about 1/2 inch space, or if you guys already know how to crochet, you can do about 2 stitches. Okay, so for the mouth, we're going to actually be putting it way down here where our stitches are. So it's going to be right between this last row that we did and our stitches. And when we start crocheting again, we have to just make sure we're very careful not to accidentally crochet and stick our hook through the mouth, because if we do, it's going to mess up the whole face. So we're just going to insert we're going to insert our needle through any spot. And then I just like stick my needle right back through in somewhere next to it, but not in the same spot. So just like that. And as you can see, it's just starting to form. And then we're going to stick our needle back through and then back down again, just to give it a little extra design. And there is our disgusted face. And we can grab our scissors now and cut our embroidery thread. And when I tie it, I am very careful, because this part, if you pull it too tight, it's going to mess up everything. When you're just tying it, you want to just take the 2 ends and you can just tie it gently. And don't pull too hard, because you don't want to mess up the face. But on the second time you're tying it, you can just like kind of tighten it a little extra. And just shove it inside our head, because we're going to be stuffing it. So we're going to grab our stuffing right here. And this is actually a little too much stuffing. And we're going to just take a bit of it and just kind of roll it into like a ball shape and just kind of push it in. So you want to make sure we don't push it into the body, because there is still a hole here. So we just want to make sure it stays in the head. Just like that. And we can stuff it a little more at the very end. And then we can grab our hook and we can put our hook back into the loop. And then for our last round, we're going to be doing 6 decreases, and this is a round we've already done before. So 6 decreases, which means we're just going to put our hook into the front loop of the first 2 stitches. And then we're going to yarn over, which means we're going to grab the yarn, and we're going to pull through both of those front loops. And now we have 2 loops on our hook, and we're going to yarn over and pull through both loops on our hook. And we're going to repeat that 5 more times for a total of 6 stitches. So again, we're going to insert a hook into the front loops of the next 2 stitches, yarn over, which means grab the yarn, and pull through both of the front loops, yarn over and pull through both loops on our hook. And we're just going to keep going. Make sure right here to be very careful not to grab the mouth of our crochet creation. And these decreases are going to make the mouth kind of just scrunch in a little bit tighter, so that way it's more of a dot than a line. And then we're just going to just keep going all the way around until we only have 6 stitches left. Okay, so at this point we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. A slip stitch is we're going to insert our hook into both loops of the next stitch, and we're going to grab the yarn and pull through. But instead of grabbing the yarn and pulling through both loops like a regular single crochet, we're just going to take the first loop right here, And we're going to pull it through the second loop, just like that. And then we're going to chain 1, which means we're just going to yarn over and pull through the loop that we have on our hook. And then you can tighten it, just like that. And we can cut our yarn, but make sure we leave enough yarn for sewing the hole right here that we left closed, just like that. And then now, if you want to, we can grab our stuffing again, and we can stuff it a little more. So like I like to put the stuffing right here and use the hook to kind of just push it in gently, because we want to make sure we don't accidentally push any of the stuffing into the dome part of our mushroom. And then to close it off, we're actually going to grab the front loops of each of our 6 stitches, and we're going to close it off. If you guys accidentally miss a stitch, it doesn't really matter. And I like to use my hook for this, but you guys can use a needle. So I'll just use my needle to show you guys. Just like this. So insert your hook into the first stitch, in and out. So, and you're just going to go in and out and in and out through all 6 stitches. Just like this. And then we're going to grab the end of the yarn and just tighten it, which we're going to pull it. And this is what people call a reverse magic ring, because when you tighten it, it's going to close the hole. And it's kind of finishing off a project while a magic ring is starting a project. And then now we can tie a knot in it right here. And I like to just insert your needle into any part of the mushroom and just kind of pull it through, but don't pull it all the way, because there should be a loop right here. Because if you can pull it all the way, that's not very good. And then you can put your yarn tail through the hole right here. And then you can just pull it tight, and that should be a pretty good knot. And then you can take your needle and then insert your needle into somewhere really close to your knot and just poke it out somewhere, just like I would say right here, it doesn't really matter. And then you can put your needle down and tighten that as much as possible. Just kind of shape your head back into place. And then take your hook and you can just push the tail end back in. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just take your yarn and just snip it. It's up to you. Then once you're done, you should have this really cute mushroom, and you can just pop it in. Just kind of nestle it in there, and you should be able to pop it in and out. I hope my video was helpful. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below how I can improve. Thanks for watching!